Sorry for the delay. I think after the Honourable Chief Minister made her speech, everybody decided to go for lunch. So we're just waiting for people to come into the room. So we'll just delay just by another few minutes. So please bear with us. We'll start soon. Sorry for the delay. I hope you've all had some lunch. So welcome to the UK Country Seminar. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Tammy Sandhu. I'm the head of UK Trade and Investment at the British Deputy High Commission here in Chennai. You will hear from a range of speakers here about how we as the UK are delighted to be partner country for this Global Investors Meet. But before I introduce the speakers and introduce the sessions, I thought I'd take the opportunity, as we are the UK, to congratulate Her Majesty the Queen, who today becomes the longest reigning monarch in the UK, surpassing her great-great-grandmother, Queen Victoria. So a momentous day for the UK as well as Tamil Nadu today. So we have two very stimulating, I hope, and informative sessions. The first session we will be talking about the UK in India. We're very lucky to have two special guests who've flown in from the UK especially for this. So thank you in particular to Alpesh Patel and also to Nicola Bolton, our head of delegation. You'll also hear from our esteemed Deputy High Commissioner, Mr. Bharat Joshi, our Director of the British Council, Meghwai Barker, and one of our trusted partners and friends, Arun Narayan, who heads up the UK-India Business Council from Bangalore. After that, we'll have what I think will be a really exciting session, which will be chaired by Alpesh, and it will be focused on entrepreneurship, something that's really close to our hearts in the UK. And we're delighted we have Sam Paul, who some of you will know is the Managing Director of Tony & Guy here in South India, and also Mr. Rajiv Macheri, who is an angel investor and is also the Honorary Consul for Ireland, and who is sitting in the audience. So they will be talking about their experiences as entrepreneurs here. So I really encourage you to stay beyond the first session, because I think that's going to be a really, really exciting session. There'll be opportunities for you to ask us, all of our speakers, questions, so we will make enough time for that. We have specifically asked our speakers to keep their interventions as brief as possible. But before we start our first session, there's going to be an MOU signing between the Global Health Alliance UK and Apollo MedSkills. So I'd like to just invite Mr. Kinshuk Kalra from Global Health Alliance UK and Dr. Srinivasa Rao from Apollo MedSkills to come and exchange the MOU folders. Yeah, and if Bharat and Nicola could join them for the photo. Thanks. Now if I can invite each of you to say a few words.
Hello, it's a great pleasure to be here at Tamil Nadu Global Investors Meet today. And it's a great pleasure to sign a memorandum of understanding with Global Health Alliance UK. So Apollo MedSkills is an Apollo Hospitals Group skilling arm, and we are incepted in 2012, and it's been 3 years of operation. And we are having strong collaborations, and addition of Global Health Alliance to our collaboration is will definitely boost our knowledge, faculty training in skilling. We all know that India needs about 74 million healthcare professionals at various levels, at paramedical, nursing, and medical doctor level in next 10 years. And we are adding about 100,000 beds every year. So each bed translates to about employment of 7 health resources, all paramedical, nurse, and medical doctor. And we at Apollo MedSkills are on a mission to train about 100,000 students each year for the next 10 years. And we are forming alliances, strong alliances, and the Alliance with Global Health Alliance will definitely help us to boost our training capabilities. So we will also launch 2 programs, one in ECG interpretation and 2D echocardiography interpretation for doctors to start with. And we are aiming to add a few more programs this year. And we already have very strong relationship with British colleagues, the Royal Colleges of General Practitioners, Royal College of Surgeons, the University of Liverpool, and Global Health Alliance will be another promising collaboration for us in our skilling mission. And thank you, Global Health Alliance. Thank you, UKTI, and Knowledge Economy for facilitating this partnership.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Special thanks to the members of UKTI, British High Commission, and my friend from Apollo MedSkills. I am honored and privileged to represent my company, Global Health Alliance, at this historic meet. As many of you know that Global Health Alliance is an alliance of UK's leading universities, hospitals, and health bodies aimed to deliver short and long-term courses GHA was launched on 24th April 2015 at the British High Commission. We have done 8 courses across the country, teaching 300 health professionals in India. We are now entering into a relationship with Apollo MedSkills, and we are honored to do that. Our director, Dr. Rajay Narayan, is a cardiologist at the world's leading heart research centers, that is St. George's Hospital in London, joins me in expressing his happiness and gratitude to the members of UKTI for their active support to GHA. At last, I would like to thank Ms. Mathi for her active support.
Range of company sectors represented, aerospace, agriculture, food processing, wigs, education, language, buses, not trains represented, I was about to say buses, trains and planes, but motorbikes and Jaguar cars instead. So for those of you that are interested in that. I'm particularly delighted that we've actually got the Optare Versa bus here, which is an electric bus made by Optare, the largest supplier of electric buses in the UK. And I think there's a huge opportunity for this, not only in Tamil Nadu, but also in India more generally. I've just come down from a couple of days up in Kolkata, and we've been talking with the government of West Bengal about these electric buses. So I think that's a fantastic opportunity to really make a sustainable, enduring change to the UK. Jaguar Land Rover, as I said, is also displaying its stunning XJ model. And we've got our fantastic motorbikes on show there from Triumph. Just keeping it fairly sweet and short, the UK government's target is to reach £1 trillion of global exports by 2020, and we see India as a key part of us helping us do that. We are here, we run one of our biggest teams here in India. We have the widest reaching network of Deputy High Commissioners so that we can really spread out across the country and really work very locally and help bring the best of Indian expertise and knowledge together with the best of UK expertise and knowledge and products, and really create sort of long-lasting, sustainable joint collaborations. So that's a very important thing for us. We are the largest G20 investor in India, and it delights me to be able to say that over the last 15 years, we've put around $22 billion investment into India from the UK. And last year alone, this investment was close to some $1.9 billion, so a huge amount of English money coming into the country. But equally, a huge amount of Indian business, coming the other way. So that's actually as important to us. And some of the biggest, Indian investors in the UK include the Tata Group, for example, which is actually now the largest manufacturing employer in the UK. And Mahindra too are investing heavily with us back in the UK, including the development of their next generation electric vehicles. So we're very excited about actually having that Indian expertise coming back into the UK to enrich what we do and develop what we do. And in both instances, I'm delighted to then be able to see companies coming and setting up here in India are then exporting from India to other parts of the world. So we're boosting your economy and likewise in the UK. Last year, the UK's total goods and services trade with India was about £15.8 billion. It's growing. So we have Costa Coffee, for example, with over 100 outlets across India. And they've got plans to grow that and double that soon. The Body Shop, another 100 outlets in India, and Marks and Spencer's is over 45. And I'm particularly proud to be able to talk about companies like Paver Shoes, whose story started here in Chennai. And they're one of the largest foreign retailers in India, also with plans for further expansion. So of the 50 businesses that we have operating in this area, we have a huge number of employees working here locally. So it's great to see that relationship and partnership coming to fruition. We know that India is happening in the States, so I suppose my key message is that's why I scheduled my trip to come out to the States first rather than typically going straight into New Delhi, because it's really important for us, because this is where the business is happening, this is where the opportunities are, and I hope that those of you that are here today will take time to come and see our business colleagues here on the stand and find out actually how your businesses can benefit from working with our businesses. Now, Bharat has a 3-minute rule. I think I've gone over the 3 minutes, so I will close that now. But thank you very much for coming to our seminar this afternoon. I hope you find it of interest and that you each take away something of value to you, yourself, and also to your businesses. So thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Nicola. I now invite Bharat to speak for just 3 minutes.
Thank you. I do have a 3-minute rule. I regret, I think I'm going to break it for once. Just to echo, though, what Nicola, head of delegation, has said, that this has been a great event so far. Lots of energy in the room, and it was great to hear about the future plans for this state. I'm just going to speak very briefly about the things which have happened recently in our relationship. As you would expect from a country that has been here for 376 years, we have a long-standing relationship and lots of things happen, but I just want to talk about the things which stick out in my mind as being our greatest achievements in Tamil Nadu, if you like, in the last few months or so. I did want to say, first of all, though, that I hope some of you have actually been to our pavilion. If you haven't, I would recommend that you do go. It gives you a really good sense of what the UK is good at. And it puts, for example, a lie to this claim that UK manufacturing is dead. When you look at the quality of some of the UK manufactured automotive products, for example, it gives you a sense of what is coming out of the UK. So I'd urge you to go and have a look. We're very proud of the stall that we've put up because it showcases what we are doing in this state, and I'd encourage you to go. One of the things I'm proudest of is that UK companies in Tamil Nadu employ more than 50,000 people in this city alone. So many more across the state, but just in Tamil Nadu, in Chennai itself, it's 50,000 people. And by massively, those are jobs, high quality jobs for Indians. That you don't see that many UK expatriates here, you see Indians are employed because UK companies believe in nurturing local talent. UK companies that are here have long-standing CSR programs, not because of company regulations that have been brought in the last 2 years, because they think it's the right thing to do, to contribute to the communities in which they are working. And UK companies don't practice corruption. That's partly because we have very tough anti-corruption legislation in the UK, but it's also because corruption is bad for business and it's bad for the economies in which they operate. I want to say I'm glad we were able to witness the signing of the MOU. It's the first MOU of its kind. It's innovative. What it does do is it provides for leading healthcare providers in the UK to help upskill Indian workers to the standards that we want to see across the world. And that's for doctors, nurses, paramedics, a whole group of medical practitioners, and should provide a platform for further and future collaboration. As you'd expect in Chennai, healthcare is a big part of our relationship, and that's just the latest in a long line of agreements. And the ones that come to mind are Glasgow Calvin College, which is going to be establishing a dental nursing academy in Coimbatore, and is working with local health providers there to increase the standards of dental nursing qualifications there. And early next year, Westminster Healthcare, with whom we work very closely, will be opening an international standard diagnostic centre here in Chennai that will offer outpatient wellness and prevention services at the very, very highest level. I'm also really proud to announce that the University of Cambridge has just been given £2 million, that's 20 crores, by the UK Medical Research Council to run a project with the National Institute for Research on tuberculosis and non-resistant, or on antimicrobial, and there we go, antimicrobial resistant tuberculosis, which has become an increasing risk in recent years. They will be working together on what will be a really exciting and potentially transformational project which will save lives. Education is a huge part of what we do, and just to name a few, Liverpool Hope University have a project with Stella Maris College to offer a postgraduate course in international business. CMC Vellore and the University of Edinburgh have an MOU on offering a master's in family medicine. And the Centre for Applied Research and Education, CARE, in Chennai, and the University of Leicester have signed an MOU to offer a 3-year postgraduate program in psychology. I talked about manufacturing. I mean, Make in India is a big part of what we do, certainly in this state. We make everything here, from shoes. Companies like Clarks make their shoes here. Trainers, Reebok and others are manufacturing their products here, through to bespoke suits that are worn by Hollywood stars are manufactured here by women who were widowed in the tsunami and sold on Savile Row at the very top end of the market, through to valves for industry and the oil and gas sector, through to buses like the Wright bus, which you will see if you go and see our stands. The most recent of those is Wright Bus. It recently entered the market in a partnership with Daimler-Benz. It produces the chassis for India-made buses for the market here. There's a whole range of buses. But companies like GKN Driveline, the world's leading manufacturer of automotive driveline components, is based here and is looking to expand its business. Rotork Controls, global leader in actuator controls, has its India HQ here in Chennai, and again is increasing as we see the global economy start to pick up, and so does their business. And we work just as much to encourage people to invest in the UK. We're very proud of the fact that we have an open economy. So it's not just about helping UK companies invest in India. We want to see Indian companies invest in UK. And that, we talked about Tata, largest manufacturing employer. A number of our companies here are also investing into the UK economy. Polaris, Shasun, Take Solutions, just to name a few. And we're looking forward to seeing very, very many more of those. We do a lot of work on climate change. I want to mention that just because we talk about prosperity and we forget the risk that's posed by climate change, that countries like India, because they're developing, have a greater risk from the impacts of climate change. So one of the things that the UK is doing is investing heavily. We've supported the local state government in producing a state-level action plan, which will help the state bid for money from central funds in order to mitigate the impacts of climate change locally. We're helping projects with industry to design fiscal projects, fiscal products to make sure that state money is used better to tackle climate change. And we're supporting renewable energy, and in particular, we work with CWET on offshore wind in the state. I'm going to stop there. As you've heard, I have a 3-minute rule. I suspect I've just gone over that. It's not my fault. The reason I've gone over 3 minutes is just because there is so much going on within this relationship. So I'd encourage you to ask us questions so that we can answer at the end. Finally, thank you all for coming. Thank you.
Thank you, Bharat. Alpesh, if you'd like to come and say a few words.
I've been shortchanged. I've been told 1 minute, so I'm going to try and keep it to. 1 minute. I'm particularly proud to be here because I run a British private equity fund which invests in Tamil Nadu. We generate profits from this state, which we repatriate back to the UK, which pays our employees and pays UK tax. So we're particularly happy to be here. But that's not the role in which I'm speaking today. I'm also, for the UK government, something called deal maker. My role is to look from out of India and out of China, the most innovative technological companies with outstanding entrepreneurs, and construct the deals to land them and their global headquarters into the UK. And over the last 10 years, I and my colleagues who operate in other parts of the world have brought in over 300 companies and over $1 billion worth of investment into the United Kingdom. And it's only after the companies would actually say, we would not have set up but for the deals that you've done, but for the help that we've received from the UK government, can we justify the government being involved in the business of business. Otherwise, why should the government be involved in what you, as business people, do? Let me tell you what I want to try and help the business people in this room with. I want their businesses to have either a regional or a global headquarters out of the United Kingdom because, like the entrepreneurial businesses before you that we've brought there, and like the ones you aspire to become like, and we've heard Tata, and consider that out of the United Kingdom, Tata Motors made $1 billion in profit a couple of years ago, $1 billion in profit in 1 year from the United Kingdom alone. You can imagine what a cash cow the UK can be and is for Indian businesses. What I want to help the smaller entrepreneurial companies, and everybody's smaller than Tata, is setting up that base, doing the deals around getting the capital into that base, getting the customers into that base, so that your companies become the next Tata. And why are companies like yours choosing the UK? Let me give you some of the key reasons they've given us. One of the key reasons they've given us, as you would expect, is the EU market. Not many people realize the EU is about the same size in GDP as the United States. It's a $14 trillion market that the United Kingdom is at the heart of, that we give open access to British companies to into the EU. $14 trillion, even if you have zero growth. That makes it, I think, roughly about